morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're watching this video from. My name is Sophia, and welcome back to Sophia Live. Looks like Kenyans have approved the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket ahead of the 2027 general elections. An online poll was put up, and Kenyans were asked if they are ready to vote for this combination. And 70% of those who voted said yes. So this is the poll that I'm talking about. I can see it was conducted by Professor TV, and Kenyans were asked, if the election were held today, who would you vote for? Kalonzo-Sifuna, Ruto, Kindiki. And as you can see the results, 70% of Kenyans are saying they are approving the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket. Well, yesterday I did a video and I told you that the united opposition, or rather the opposition, are settling on Kalonzo Musyoka as the presidential flag bearer. They feel like Kalonzo Musyoka is a guy who is the best for them. Now, about the deputy, it is still subject to discussion. It has not been approved. They have not settled on whom they are going to pick to deputize Kalonzo Musyoka, but it looks like Kenyans are pushing for Edwin Sifuna to be picked. Will Edwin Sifuna be picked? I don't think so. As I said in my yesterday video, I think Sifuna will still be vying as the senator of Nairobi. This is what I'm seeing, and this is what it is going to happen. I'm not 100% certain, but I feel like Sifuna still will want to hold on until 2032. This is my prediction, that Sifuna will still say not going this direction now, but in 2022 I think that the likes of Kina Sifuna and Babu Owino will be making some big moves, and I see them trying this presidency thing. So Kenyans, you are approving the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket. Now let's analyze this ticket. Can this ticket defeat Ruto? Definitely. Yes, to me this is a yes. You see, the good thing with our politics right now is that we are so tired of blind following these politicians, and this ticket is coming at a time when Kenyans are saying no to these corrupt politicians. When you analyze the united opposition, the whole people, the characters there, the only person whom you can say in terms of character, in terms of scandals, corruption here and there, stealing, Kalonzo Musyoka is somehow clean. Not 100% clean, but if you make comparisons with others, you can say Kalonzo Musyoka stand a chance ahead of the rest. Well, others like Fred Matiang'i are there, yes, but like Matiang'i is a guy whom the Rivayala scandal still haunts him, and the Ruaraka scandal. So with him, there is a lot of things that needs to be cleaned, if you allow me to put it that way. So if you compare between Kalonzo Musyoka and Fred Matiang'i, while Fred Matiang'i looks like a a person whom we can trust, but between these two, I think, if you ask me, I think Kenyans will prefer Kalonzo Musyoka. In terms of character, in terms of the PR and everything, Kalonzo is somehow clean compared to Fred Matiang'i. Although these two people, I think they are the ones that the united opposition are looking into. 2027 is about Kenyans redeeming themselves. 2027 is about Kenyans correcting the mistakes, and 2027 is about Kenyans proving to these politicians that this country belongs to Kenyans and not politicians. And these are the reasons I'm seeing the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket going through, because Kenyans are at the corner. Kenyans are so done with this regime. Kenyans are totally done with Ruto. If you ask about, if we even have, we have to speak regionally, like we have to go regions by regions. You can see the numbers. The numbers favors these tickets. So to me, this is a clean ticket, and to me, I think this one will sail through. This one will defeat Ruto. Politics is about numbers, and right now, every day, like today, we are talking about the state house expenditure. Crazy amount. Within 6 months, I'm going to do a separate video on that. So you see, Kenyans are reading these stories from this report from control of the budget, and it is even making things worse for President William Ruto. So to me, I think this ticket is going to sell through. And if you ask me, I think, sincerely speaking, Kenyans are ready for Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket. About the deputy, the United Opposition have not settled on that, but as I told you earlier, they have already made a decision that their flag bearer is going to be Kalonzo Musyoka. Well, Kalonzo Musyoka is bringing something on the table, and I'm talking about the votes from the eastern region. At least we have something to start with. And I'm one of those people who would want to end this tribal politics. It is I think majority of Kenyans right now feels like we should end this kind of politics. While this is our dreams and our vision as the people of this country, but I think that the 2027 polls, tribes and regional politics still will play a bigger part in determining who is going to be the next president of this country. So Kenyans, I don't know wherever you are you in? Are you ready for this ticket, or you have your preferred presidential person whom you think that the United Opposition should go for? Who is that person? Or you think that it is best if United Opposition picks Fred Matiang'i, or who else in that? Because clearly Rigathi Gachagua is out of the picture. So that one is out. And the likes of Kina Wamalwa and all the others are just about Okiya Omtatah. Okiya Omtatah just made I don't think he's so serious about it. And about the former Chief Justice David Maraga, I think still Kenyans are not ready for him. Well, he's a good man, no scandalous man. But from the look of things, I think that Kenyans are not ready for David Maraga. We have to be realistic. As much as we want to get out, we want to, of course, push away this corrupt individual. But we cannot ignore the fact that winning an election is about numbers. There is nothing you can say about election and numbers. These are two things that cannot be separated. So politics is about numbers. And from the look of things, the numbers right now are not favoring David Maraga. So to me, I think David Maraga should join the rest of the United Opposition to push for these things. What we want is to us to take back our country. I think this is the mission of every Kenyan in this country. It is just about, because our country right now is being run like a private property. Yani Ruto just wakes up and decides anything that he wants. He feel like we should rally behind it, and we should like the issue with Ebola. And you see, these are some of the things that Kenyans are so fed up with, and they're just saying that they are so ready to try another person. So I think, to me, that it is an interesting moment, and I like the direction our politics is. Me, I'm so ready, and I'm happy that for the first time in our political life, we are trying to do something better for this country. Politics of manipulation is coming to an end. Politics of bribing Kenyans is coming to an end. We are now taking a very different direction. And thanks to Ruto and his people who have made Kenyans realize that politics is not something that you should ignore and lower its standards. Because in Kenya, politics is a space that Kenyans have been taking it for granted. That I can just vote for anyone. You see, you vote for someone because They gave you a t-shirt or a cap or 1,000 bob. This is how we've been playing politics in our country. But right now we are realizing that, nah, any mistake you make in politics is going to cost you heavily. And this is what Kenyans are realizing, that the 2022 mistakes that Kenyans made is now costing them so much. And this is what Kenyans are trying to avoid in the 2027 polls. So me, I'm glad that Ruto happened in this country, that Ruto became Kenya's president, because we've learned a lot from him. And moving forward, Kenyans have come to realization that politics matters, especially in Kenya. In Kenya, you cannot avoid politics. Any decision, any policy, anything that happens in this country is politically linked. Anything. This is just, you cannot separate politics with anything that happened in this country. This is what you should know. Anything, any business coming up, anything. Anything. Once you realize that, you will now start to focusing on this thing we call politics. Kenyans is politics runs everything in this country. Be it bringing in a new education system, bringing in a new system in health sector. All these things start with how are we going to benefit from it politically. It is just politicians. You cannot run away from politics in Kenya. In other countries, yes, you can say, no, but in Kenya, you just have to know that anything that happens in this country is politically motivated. Any appointments, anything being set up, any industry coming up, it is all about politicians and how they are going to benefit from it. So we just have to sanitize this space and make it a space that is safe for all of us. We've been making politicians run this space for long, since independence. And now we are realizing, no, if we sit back and watch, we will not have a country in the next 5 years. So it is better that Ruto happened in this country, and I like the fact that we've learned it the hard way. The lesson that this regime has put Kenyans through is one for the books. Me, I like that it happened, so that in the future, you'll not be ignoring people. You'll not be seeing someone being linked to a particular scandal and no. We've learned it the hard way. Any person who in the past been mentioned or linked to any scandal, that is a dangerous person. That is, you cannot ignore that and say that you are going to vote for him or her because he's a changed. Politicians don't change. Our politicians, wenye tunawajua, we know these people. So these people who cannot say that once elected they can change. Nah. They cannot. So it is a good thing that Ruto was elected in 2022, because he has put us through a lot to a point that we are now not taking politics for granted. We are now active in politics and following politics religiously, because that is what is needed to safeguard this country. So Kenyans, me, I'm so happy, and I like that. I feel like the Kalonzo-Sifuna ticket is going to put this regime down. I believe that. And the 7% that is mentioned in this poll, I think that it is going to be more than that. And I feel like Kenyans are so ready for this ticket. Allow me to end this video here for today. Thanks for watching. This is Sophia Live.